To everyone. We have entered on the great day of Ekadashi into Bhagavad Gita. And now you know why Dhritarashtra was there. He wanted to know what was happening in the war field. And it was on the 11th day that he got the serious question that his side may get defeated. Therefore, he asked Sanjaya to tell him what happened between Pandavas or Kauravas in the war field. Sanjaya could tell it because he was blessed by Vyasa to have the vision of what was going on 11 days before the war was going on. So Sanjaya first told about Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana. He is the dearest for Dhritarashtra, therefore he wants to know what Duryodhana wants to say. So Duryodhana went to his Acharya, Dronacharya, which you all know, and he began introducing the Pandavas army. We have already known who are there in the Pandavas army that we completed yesterday. And then he comes to his army. He wants to tell Dronacharya to have an idea of who are the great people on his side. So he also wants to tell Dronacharya about this. I think we have to go to the shloka number 6, is it?
7.
6. 7. Asmakantu Vishishtaye Tannibodat Vijottama. Sanskrit is quite simple for all Indian language people. Ours is special. Asmakantu Vishishtaye. Asmakam means ours. Ours is the special army. Vishishtaye Tannibodat Vijottama. Vijottama means Vijay is a Brahmana. Brahmana in this sense, not the caste. Brahmana is twice born. One, he is born as a human being. Another, he is awakened to the ultimate knowledge. That is a Brahmana. Twice born, Dvijottama, the great man among the Dvijas. On Niboda Dvijottama, Acharya, just know about our army also. Nayaka Mama Sainyasya. I will also tell you about the leaders of my army. Samjnartam tan bravimite. I will tell you to know who are there fighting for our sides also. Samjnartam, to remember you, I am saying this one. Who are there in our sides. So Asmakantu Vishishtaye. Ours is a special army. Tanniboda Dvijottama. Know about it, Dronacharya. Dvijottama, the great of the Dvijas. Nayaka Mama Sainyasya. The leaders on my side. Mama Sainya means Duryodhana Sainya. Samjnartam tan brahmite. Just I am telling you to know who are there before we start the war. That's why I am telling. I think we can repeat that one. Asmakantu Vishishtaye.
Asmakantu Vishishtaye.
Tanniboda
Tanniboda
Nayaka Mama Sainyasya.
Nayaka Mama Sainyasya.
Samjnartam tan bravimite.
Sangnartam tan bravimite.
Asmakantu Vishishtaye.
Asmakantu Vishishtaye.
Tanniboda
Tanniboda
Nayaka Mama Sainyasya.
Nayaka Mama Sainyasya.
Samjnartam tan bravimite.
Sangnartam tan bravimite.
I think I made this request yesterday. When we repeat the shloka, you are all on mute, so your voice will not disturb us. You can also loudly repeat after me so that the vibration of Bhagavad Gita will also be there in your house. And more than that, the words will get clearer to you. Those are the two intentions. I see you sitting without reciting, just listening. You also go along with us when we recite the shlokas. We will go to next one. So, Duryodhana told Dronacharya that he is going to bring to his purview who are the people on his side. And then now he begins to name. Bhavan Bhishmasya Karnasya. Bhavan means you yourself. Dronacharya. You can write it. Drona, Bhishma, Karna, Krupa, Samitinjaya, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, Somadatti, Jayadratha. Ashwatthama, Jayadratha. So, in one shloka, he finishes who are the important people on his side. Yourself, he is telling to Dronacharya, we know. You, Bhavan, Bhishmasya Karnasya, and Bhishma and Karna. Bhishmasya Karnasya, and then Krupa, Krupasya, Samitinjaya. They are great warriors, victorious people. Samitinjaya, Samitinjaya, Ashwatthama Vikarnasya. Ashwatthama is there on our side. Vikarna is there. Somadatti is there. Jayadratha is there. These are the great heroes on our side. Duryodhana is telling to Dronacharya, these are our heroes. Who are they? Bhavan, Bhishma, Karna, Krupa, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, Somadatti, Jayadratha. You get all the names. And you are used to those names if you have read Mahabharata or if you are listening to the children Mahabharata, you will also get to know about them a little. And Anye cha bahuvashura padarte, let us repeat this shloka. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च
Krupascha Samitinjayaha
कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः
Ashwatthama Vikarnascha
अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च
Saumadattirjayadratah
सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च
Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च
Krupascha Samitinjayaha
कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः
Ashwatthama Vikarnascha
अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च
Saumadattirjayadratah.
सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च
In some of the shlokas, Tataivacha is there. In some of the versions, Jayadratha is there. Jayadratha's name is good there. Nothing wrong. He was a great hero in the Kaurava side. Therefore, Jayadratha version is also right. You can write. If you have that one, you can also write Jayadratha there. Tataivacha, instead of Tataivacha, you can write Jayadratha. Some versions has Jayadratha's name, and it is also an important name. There is nothing wrong. What happens is, when we do such great spiritual books, some versions will be different in some part. Say, for example, if you read Aditya Hridaya, some will say some words, and some others will be some others. Because it has come for thousands of years mouth to mouth, sometimes some words are deleted and some are added. So that is always there. It's a book which has been there for a long time and written and rewritten many times. Such things do happen. There is nothing serious about it. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Krupascha Samitinjayaha Ashwatthama Vikarnascha Saumadatti Jayadratha. Tataivacha in one version, Jayadratha in the other. Jayadratha is also right. Anye cha bahuvashura madarte tekta jivita. Duryodhana continues. Nana Shastra Praharana Sarve Yuddha Visharada. And he only names the people whom he mentions in the previous shloka and says, there are many others on our side like this. Annecha Bahuvashuraha. There are many great people, great warriors. Bahuvashura. Madarte Tekta Jivitaha. Look here, there is an interesting thing. Some words come by themselves, I mean people who are going to get defeated. He says, they have all come to live their life, they sacrifice their life for my sake. Mother te tekta jivitaha. For my sake, they have come here to sacrifice their life, to lose the war. That's what he, in the heart of heart, believes. Mother te tekta jivitaha. Nana Shastra Praharanaha. They're all experts in many usage of many arms and ammunitions, like Gada and bow and arrow, or whatever they had. All are experts in many of them. Nana Shastra Pranaha Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha. All are experts in war. None of them are low. Visharada is a degree given in Hindi. You know, Visharada is a man who knows everything. Rashtrabhasha and then Visharada. There are some of the step-by-step examination in the people take privately. The Visharada means he knows a lot. Man who knows that. So they are all Visharadas in the war field. With the different arms and ammunitions, they are experts. He wants to say it to Dronacharya. I think we can repeat. Anyecha Bahuvashura.
अन्ये च बहवः शूराः
Madarte Tekta Jivitaha.
मदर्थे त्यक्त्वा जीविताः
Nana Shastra Praharanaha.
नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः
Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha.
सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः
Anye cha Bahuvashura.
अन्ये च बहवः शूराः
Madarte Tekta Jivitaha.
मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः
Nana Shastra Praharanaha.
नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः
Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha.
सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः.
And continues. Duryodhana continues, telling Dronacharya, Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma abhirakshitam. Ours is a limitless army. Aparyapta means limitless. Their army is small and ours is bigger. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma abhirakshitam. Our army is protected by Bhishma. You all know that Bhishma is a Vichamarni. He can be killed only when he decides to die, not otherwise. Therefore, he says Bhishma's Rakshana is there for us. We are protected by Bhishma. Aparyaptam tadasmakam. Limitless is our aparyaptam means limitless. You can write down if you want. Very great. Very large number. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma abhirakshitam. Our army, protected by Bhishma, is a limitless army, has a greater number, or very great number. Paryaptam tudame tesham balam Bhima abhirakshitam. But what about the other? Bhima's army. He takes the name of Bhima. Paryapta, limited. And you know the number. 7 Akshoni was on the side of Pandavas, 11 was on the side of Kauravas, and theirs was and altogether it was 18 Akshoni on the war field. 18 is a wonderful number in our Mahabharata. There are many things. Yesterday, you know, Mahabharata has 18 cantos, and then Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. Sthita Prajna Lakshana has 18 shlokas, and the number of army that was there was also something like an 18. So the 18 has a wonderful resemblance, rather wonderful usage in our Shastras. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma abhirakshitam. Our army, protected by Bhishma, is a limitless one, very big one, having 11 akshoni. You can Google out it. Akshoni means how many number of horses are there, how many numbers of elephants are there, how many numbers of fighters are there. Altogether, it's called Akshoni. We are not going into the detail of that. But Pandavas was a smaller army protected by Bhima. That is what he says to Dronacharya. I think we can go through that. It need not take much time over such silly, simple things. Let's repeat. Aparyaptam tadasmakam
अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं
balam bhishmabhirakshitam
बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं
paryaptam tvidame
पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां
balam bhimabhirakshitam
बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्
aparyaptam tadasmakam
अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं
balam bhishmabhirakshitam
बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम्
paryaptam tvidame
पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां
balam bhimabhirakshitam.
बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्.
Continues. Duryodhana continues. Ayeneshu cha sarvesha yata bhagamavastitaha bhishmameva virakshantu bhavantas sarvayevihi. In the previous sloka, he mentioned about Bhishma. And now he tells Dronacharya not to fight against the Pandavas. All of you staying in different position, go on protecting Bhishma. Look here is an interesting thing. Protect Bhishma. He is the most senior man in the warfield. So, Ayaneshu cha sarveshu, stationed at your respective positions, wherever you are to stay in the warfield on that day. You have to take a position and fight. It's not fighting somebody else. They are equals when they fight together. Therefore, when you take respective positions, you have to protect Bhishma on every side. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avastitaha. You will be in your respective position in all divisions of the army, but you should indeed protect Bhishma in particular. Bhishma's protection is important according to Duryodhana. He tells it to Dronacharya. Staying at your positions, you have to fight the war, but have in mind your one responsibility is to protect Bhishma. Because when Bhishma is not killed, Pandavas cannot think of winning over the war. Because he is an Ichamarani, he cannot leave the body. What? And we also see that he ultimately lays down on a bed of arrows. But doesn't die until Uttarayana comes. He waits for Uttarayana and dies, which you all know. And therefore, protect Bhishma is an important thing for Duryodhana, and he tells it to Dronacharya. I think we can go through that. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु
yatha bhagamavastitaha
यथा भागमवस्थिताः
Bhishmameva bhirakshantu
भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु
bhavantas sarva eva hi.
भवन्तः सर्व एव हि
Ayaneshu cha sarveshu
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु
yatha bhagamavastitaha
यथा भागमवस्थिताः
Bhishmameva bhirakshantu
भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु
bhavantas sarva eva hi.
भवन्तः सर्व एव हि.
This becomes easy if you know this. Bhishmameva bhirakshantu, if you underline, Bhishma, you can protect only Bhishma. That is what he is saying to Dronacharya. And then Tasya Sanjanen Harsham Kururdha Pitamaha Simhanadam Vinodyacha Shankaudatmo Pratapvan. So Duryodhana Vacha is over there. Sanjaya's verse has come again. You can write Sanjaya says. And we all know every word, whether Krishna speaks, told by Sanjaya, Arjuna speaks, told by Sanjaya, but here it is not mentioned that Duryodhana told this one. That's all. That's why I'm giving you the name over those shlokas. Tasya Sanjanen Harsha Kurudha Pitamaha. Make Duryodhana happy. Pitamaha, the great grandfather of Kaurava family, Bhishma, Simhanadam Vinodyachav Shankaudatmo Pratapvan. Bhishma was not inferior. He never needed any protection of anybody to make himself live. Probably he was a little hurt too by these words of Duryodhana, probably. And to show that, he said, he takes out his Shanka. That was the war beginning sign in those days. They used to make big sounds. In our time, the war means aeroplanes begin to move with such lot of horrible sound. It should break the heart of the listeners. So then they had, each one had his own Shanka and Dolu and Nagari and other things. And they are essential to bring the war awareness, war situation preparedness. That's why they blew Shanka. So, Tasya Sanjanen Harsha Kururdha Pitamaha. Kururdha Pitamaha, Bhishmacharya, make Duryodhana happy. He shouted like a lion. Simhanadam Vinodyache. Shouted like a lion. Shankaudatmo Pratapavan. And also, he blew his conch. He blew his conch. Tasya Sanjanen Harsha Kurudha Pitamaha. Whom he wanted to please do Bhishma? Duryodhana. To make him happy, he roared like a lion and blew his conch. Those are the two things done by Bhishma. Sanjaya tells us, not Duryodhana. Duryodhana's words are over. Hereafter we will not see him. And his also is the last, the action is the last one here, the previous shloka. I think we can repeat. Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham.
Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham.
Kururdha Pitamaha.
Kuruvruddha Pitamaha.
Simhanadam Vinodyache.
Simhanadam Vinodyache.
Shankam Dadmau Pratapavan.
Shankham Dadmau Pratapavan.
Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham.
Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham.
Kururdha Pitamaha.
Kuruvruddha Pitamaha.
Simhanadam Vinodyache.
Simhanadam Vinodyache.
Shankam Dadmau Pratapavan.
Shankham Dadmau Pratapavan.
That is the beginning of the war side, Shanka blowing. Then what happened? Tata Shankasya Beryasya Panavanuka Gomukaha Sayasavabhyahanyanta Sashabdas Mulobhavat. Then what happened when Bhishma blew his conch? All gathered for the war with their instrument making noise, blew their own instruments with the biggest noise possible. Tata Shankasya Beryasya, conches and drums, kettle drums, tabards, trumpets, cow horns were blasted forth. The sound was indeed shaking the earth. Sometimes when we can see this situation happening when some riots happen, things will be moving smoothly. Suppose somebody throws a stone on the moving mob. Suddenly there is a big noise. Then people do not care about their lives. They also begin to shout, begin to hit back, and so on. Things happen. So that means what is necessary in a warfare. When these sounds come, it creates a war mood in the people. They forget everything, but only thing in their mind is to fight, fight, kill, kill, kill. That's the trend that happens when such sounds come in warfare. Tata shankasya beryasya, conches, drums, tabros, trumpets, cow horns. Gomukha. Gomukha means they used to have a cow's horn and make it a sounding instrument. Cow horn, and then all of them were blown with the utmost sounding voice, fearful voice. Tata shankasya beryasya panavanka gomukha. Sahasayavabhyahanyanta sashabdas tumulobod. From that, a big sound came, which indeed shook the earth. Tumulo, sashabdas tumulo bhavat is that shook the earth. That was the big noise, bigness of the noise that came out from these war instruments. I think we can repeat. Tata shankasya berya, tata shankasya beryasya
ततः शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च
panavanaka gomukhaha
पणवानकगोमुखाः
sahasayvabhyahanyanta
सहस्रैव्याभ्यहन्यन्त
tashabdastumulo bhavat
सशब्दस्तुमुलोऽभवत्
tata shankasya beryasya
ततः शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च
panavanaka gomukhaha
पणवानकगोमुखाः
sahasayvabhyahanyanta
सहस्रैव्याभ्यहन्यन्त
tashabdastumulo bhavat.
सशब्दस्तुमुलोऽभवत्.
Entire earth shook with this sound. And that's what the Sanjaya tells to Dhritarashtra. Tata shvetairhairukte mahati sandane stitau madava pandava seva divyaushankau pradadmatu. Then what happened? All blew their sounding instrument, Shanka, Beri, Panavanaka, Gomukha, and so on, which you have them in Sanskrit there and immediately have them in English. Tata shvetairhairukte. And now we come to the Krishna's chariot. First time we are coming near Krishna in the explanation. Sitting in the white horse chariot, Mahati Sandane Stito, not an ordinary chariot, a great chariot. Mahati Sandane, great chariot. There is a thing. It was a divine chariot which Krishna was riding. When war was over, Krishna tells Arjuna to get down from the chariot. Krishna tells, you get down first, I can come later. Then he says, no, you think you fought the war? There was a great protection for us in this chariot, and when Krishna got down, chariot got burned. That's what the story says, whether it is true or not, but we have a lesson to learn. Such a great chariot it was. So, tata shvetairhavrukte mahati sandane stito. Madhava, first time we are taking the name of Krishna. Madhava, Pandava Seva, Arjuna. Second line, first one Madhava. And one thing I must tell you before we go deep into Bhagavad Gita, you have to remember Krishna's different names are used by Arjuna, Sanjaya, every time they speak of Krishna. And also, when Krishna uses the name of Arjuna, he doesn't take only name of Arjuna, he takes many other names. If we get into confusion with these names, we will never understand Bhagavad Gita. And also there is another thing. Some people try to explain why here he used Arjuna, why here he used Bharata, why here he used Gudakesha, and so on and so forth. Not necessary for us. Bhagavad Gita is written in Anushtup Chandas. For the sake of the Chandas, whichever word came handy, Vyasa used in the shlokas. So whatever name taken of Arjuna, it is Arjuna for us. Whatever name taken of Krishna by either Sanjaya or by Arjuna, it is Krishna for us. This confusion should not be there hereafter. They take different names to suit the chandas of the shloka. And some people get away from Bhagavad Gita explaining why this name came, where this name came, what is the meaning of the, how does it suit? Nothing of that kind for me. It is Krishna, wherever, whatever name told of Krishna. It is Arjuna, whatever name used for Arjuna. That will be clearing our all doubts. That might come in the future. Madhava, Pandava, Seva. Madhava is Krishna, Pandava is Arjuna. Divyaushankau Pradadmatuhu. They also blew their great conscience. Divyaushankau Pradadmatuhu. Divine conscience. They also blew their divine conscience. Who? Madhava blew his, and then Pandava blew his. Krishna blew his divine conch, and Madhava also, Arjuna also, Pandava also blew his divine conch. After listening to the conch sound of Bhishma, that is the sign of starting of the war. And then Tata Shvetair Hayurukte, the people who stayed in the chariot with white horses, Mahati Sandane Stito, sitting in a great chariot, Madhava Pandava Seva, Krishna and Arjuna, Divya Shankau Pradadmatuhu. They also blew their great divine conscience. I think we can repeat. You can underline this because first time Krishna's name is mentioned here in Bhagavad Gita as Madhava. Those who are interested in finding out how many times what names are used, you can go on underlining and make note. I don't have any objection. You can continue. But for me, whatever name used, Krishna is Krishna. Whatever name used, Arjuna is Arjuna. Let's repeat. Tata Shvetair Hair Yukte.
ततः श्वेतैर्हरैः युक्ते
Mahati Sandane Stitau.
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
Madhava Pandava Seva.
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
Jivyau Shanko Pradadmatuhu.
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः
Tata Shankasya Beryasya. Tata Shvetair Hair Yukte.
ततः श्वेतैर्हरैः युक्ते
Mahati Sandane Stitau.
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
Madhava Pandavasaiva.
माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव
Divyau Shanko Pradadmatuhu.
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः.
Pradadmatu is by context you can know blowing of the conch. And interestingly, each conch has its own name for in Mahabharata. Krishna's conch has a name, Arjuna's conch has a name, Yudhishthira's conch has a name. All names are given here in the next two shlokas. Panchajanyam Hrishikeshaha. Krishna's Shanka is called Panchajanya. Krishna's Shanka is called, conch is called Panchajanya. Note that you can, because, and in the next prayer, when we go to 7th chapter, we repeat one shloka from one chapter as a first prayer. So this shloka is there because the Mahabharata begins with the sound of conch, and our classes also begin with the sound name of the conch. Panchajanyam Hrishikeshaha Devadattam Dhananjaya. And though you do not know Sanskrit, you know what is next. Dhananjaya is the name of Arjuna. His Shanka is called Devadatta. So, Krishna blew Panchajanya, Arjuna blew Devadatta. That is the name of his conch. They had taken it to the war field with them to create the war mood in the battlefield. And then, Poundram Dadmo Mahashankam Bhimakarma Vrupadara. And the third name taken is the Bhima's conch. Bhima's name of the Bhima's conch is Poundram. You can write. Bhima's conch is Poundram. Mahashankam, Poundro Dadmo Mahashankam, Bhimakarma Vrukodara. Vrukodara is wolf. Wolf's belly, Bhima is called. He was a very big eater. In fact, when they were in the forest, whatever they brought as arms, Kunti used to make it divide it into two. One full portion she would give to Bhima. The rest they would divide among themselves. In the entire his stay in the forest and Ajnatavasa, one day he ate a big meal. Do you know when? When he went to took a chariot to Bakasura for his food. Chariot full of food was there. He ate everything, never gave a morsel to Bakasura and ate everything. So Bhima is a big eater. Therefore, Urkodara means always like a wolf's belly. Whatever you eat, it feels still hungry. That's the name of that's the fun with this one. So I mentioned. Poundram Dadmo Mahashankam. Poundram is the name of Shanka of Bhima. Bhima blew that one. So this is, I asked you to underline, Krishna blew Panchajanya. Arjuna blew Devadatta. Poundram is the Shanka of Bhima. He also blew it. 3 Shankas were blown apart from Bhishma's Shanka, which we know began first, because he was the senior most man to begin the war also. I think we can say this. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho
Panchajanyam Rishikesho
Devadattam Dhananjaya
Devadattam Dhananjaya
Poundram Dadmo Mahashankam
Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham
Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha
Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha
Panchajanyam Hrishikesho
Panchajanyam Rishikesho
Devadattam Dhananjaya
Devadattam Dhananjaya
Poundram Dadmo Mahashankam
Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham
Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha.
Bhimakarma Vrukodaraha.
And then Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira. Bhagavad Gita is easy because of these things. You know that we are speaking about Shanka. Ananta Vijaya is the name of the Shanka of Yudhishthira. Raja Yudhishthira. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira. Kunti's son Yudhishthira, Raja, blew his Shanka by name Ananta Vijaya. That simple it is. We have been told for generations that you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita if you do not know Sanskrit. Wrong. We can understand by many reading, the Sanskrit word becomes your words. And they will tell you everything to be told by Krishna or Arjuna to each one of us. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthira. Kunti Putra Yudhishthira blew his conch named Ananta Vijaya. Nakula Sahadevasya Sagosha Manipushpako. And Nakula Sahadeva, all 5 brothers, Pandava brothers are mentioned here. Nakula and Sahadeva, you know that, they also blew their conches, which are called Sagosha, Sugosha Manipushpaka. Sugosha, that is the name. And Sagosha is there in the book that I have been referring. It is Sugosha. Sugosha is the name of that Shanka, and Manipushpaka is the Shanka of Sahadeva. So, Nakula's Shanka, Sugosha. Sahadeva's Shanka is Manipushpaka. Over. All the 5 Shankas are named, rather 6. Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sahadeva. All Shankas have been mentioned here. I think we can repeat, not worth taking a lot of time over this. Ananta Vijayam Raja,
Ananta Vijayam Raja,
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha,
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha,
Nakula Sahadevasya,
Nakulaha Sahadevascha,
Sugosha Manipushpakau,
Sughosha Manipushpakau,
Ananta Vijayam Raja,
Ananta Vijayam Raja,
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha,
Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha,
Nakula Sahadevasya,
Nakulaha Sahadevascha,
Sugosha Manipushpakau,
Sughosha Manipushpakau.
काश्यस्य परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटस्य सात्विकी च पराजितः. What has Sanjaya to say next is very simple. When these people blew Shankas, all warriors gathered in the war field, used their conches and made a very big sound, which actually made the earth shake. That's what we have already seen. काश्यस्य परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दुष्टद्युम्नो विराटस्य सात्विकी च पराजितः. काशी राजा Parameshwasha, having a great archer, being a great archer, Shikhandi cha Maharatha. Shikhandi was also on the side of Kauravas, on the side of Pandavas, we know. So, and then Drupado Dushtadhyumno Viratasya Satyaki cha Parajita. Dushtadhyumna Virata Satyaki Parajita, whose names have been already mentioned, either on the side of Pandavas or on the side of Kauravas. Sanjaya repeats the name without taking their sides now. Drupado Drupadayasya Sarvaya Pratipate. Drupada Raja, Draupadayasya, sons of Draupadi, 5 Upapandavas they are called, and Sarvashak Pratipate, all are great warriors. In fact, a warrior's life is a great life. They will be enjoying life, is true. When they get to the war field, nothing is important other than fighting back. A coward cannot be a warrior. They are ready to take the life and give the life. All were like this. Pandava side people were also like this, and the Kauravas people were also like this. Therefore, they are named Drupado Draupadayasa Sarvashe Pratipate Saubhadrasya Mahabaho. Subhadra means Subhadramaga Abhimanyu, Subhadrasan Abhimanyu, Shanka and Dadma Pratak. Separately, they blew all their conches. All the warriors, great men, the leaders, on the Kaurava side and the Pandava side, blew their conches with the highest possible sound so that the earth reverberated, shook by the sound of that. That's what we want to say. I think we can repeat both the shlokas. Kasyasya parameshwasaha,
Kashyascha Parameshwasaha,
Shikandi cha maharataha,
Shikhandi cha Maharathaha,
Drushtadyumno viratasya,
Drishtadyumno Viratascha,
Satyakischa parajitaha,
Satyakischa Parajitaha,
Drupado Draupadeyasya,
Upado Draupadeyascha,
Sarvasha Prithvipate,
Sarvasha Prithivipate,
Saubhadrasya Mahabahuhu,
Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu,
Kan dadmo pratak pratak.
Shankhan dadmo pratak pratak.
Pratak pratak means separately. Each one blew his conch separately. All warriors did this. From this side and that side, irrespective of the side, they were all prepared to fight the war to the end till the end, and they made big sound in the war field. These two shlokas say about that. I think we have to repeat it again. Did we do with the earlier shloka? Kasyasya Parameshwasha.
Guru.
Only once.
Once we
Yeah. Kasyasya Parameshwasah
Kashyascha Parameshwasah
Kandi cha Maharatah
Shikhandi cha Maharatha
Drushtadhyumno Viratasya
Drishtadyumno Viratascha
Satyakischa Parajitah
Satyakischa Parajitaha
Drupado Draupadeyasya
Drupado Draupadeyascha
Sarvashah Prithivipate
Sarvashah Prithivipate
Saubhadrasya Mahabahu
Saubhadrascha Mahabahuः
Shankan Dadmo Pratak Pratak.
Shankhan Dadmo Pratak Pratak.
Those two shlokas were together in my text, so I took them together. When they come like that, we will be taking them together. We go to the next one. Sagosho Dhartarashranam Hudayani Vidaraya. Who is continuing? You know, Sanjaya. Sagosho Dhartarashranam Hudayani Vidaraya Navasya Pruthuvinchaiva Tumulo Venunadaya. The terrible sound that came out of these conscious drums and other instruments reverberated throughout the earth and the sky, pierced the very heart of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Look here, he is giving a clue what is happening to his sons. The sound of Pandavas, Shankas, Beris, Nagaris, etc. were so big that it pierced into the heart of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Where is it? Sagosho Dhartarashtrana Hrudayani Vedare. It shook the hearts of those people. It created fear in their minds. And Sagosho Dhartarashtrana Hrudayani Vedare. It broke the hearts of the Dhritarashtra, sons of Dhritarashtra. Navasya Pruthuvinchaiva. I told you about the war aeroplanes which pass through. If they pass through your house, the entire thing vibrates. That happened here also with these sounds. And from earth to sky, it reverberated. And Navasya Pruthuvinchaiva Tumulo Vinunadayan. Great sound happened and shook the heart of your sons. That is what Sanjaya promptly reports to Dhritarashtra. If not, he has to tell the truth what happened in the end. Not that he knowingly did it. That came to him as he saw by the blessings of Vyasa, he says this. We know that. Therefore, Sagosho Dhartarashranam Hrudayani Vedaki. You can underline that line. That sound shook the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. One line. Line one. Navasya Pruthuvinchayo Tumulo Venanathan. This sound was so big, it covered both earth and sky. Such big was this sound. That's what Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, which we already know. Let us repeat. Sagosho Dhartarashranam
Saghosho Dhatrarashtraणां
Hrudayani Vedarayat
Hridayani Vedarayat
Navasya Pruthuvinchaiva
Nabhascha Prithivim Chaiva
Tumulo Venunadayan.
Tumulo Venunadayan
Sagosho Dhartarashranam
Saghosho Dhatrarashtraणां
Hrudayani Vedharayat
Hridayani Vedarayat
Navasya Pruthuvinchaiva
Nabhascha Prithivim Chaiva
Tumulo Venunadayan.
Tumulo Venunadayan.
One thing I would like to tell you with the first chapter is there is no philosophy in the first chapter. You are expecting Bhagavad Gita to tell something to correct our life. It starts with the second chapter. First chapter only gives the position of that was there, Arjuna's dejection, and what happened in the war field before Krishna gave advice is explained in the first chapter. Therefore, till we go to the end of the first chapter, only you will be listening to what is happening in the war field, not beyond that.